Chapter 1. Every second counted, which was why Evie was watching her stepmom Hannah like a hawk. Once Hannah finished taking the order from the old couple at table 9 and headed to the kitchen to fetch their lunch, Evie estimated she'd have around 2 minutes, just 120 seconds, before her stepmom would be back, which would give me just enough time, she thought, to dash behind the counter and make the 2 blueberry blaster slushy drinks for the teenagers at table 2, which Hannah has forgotten to do. The moment Evie had heard the teenagers order their drinks, she'd been itching to go make them. Evie loved making slushies, especially blueberry blaster slushies. There was something so satisfying about piling the fruit and the ice into the blender and hitting that max power button so the machine whizzed and crunched and created the most delicious purple frothy drink ever. But her Mom, wasn't wild about letting Evie help out in the family's diner. Mostly because I spill stuff, Evie thought. But I've been practicing, and today I'm Wonder Waitress, the slickest smoothie-making superhero in the world. And I'm going to show Hannah just how awesome I am. Hannah had finished writing on her order pad now and was telling the old couple she would be back with their soup shortly. Okay, begin countdown, Evie told herself. 10, 9, 8, 7. Evie kept her eyes glued to Hannah as her stepmom turned and walked toward the kitchen and stopped to collect some dirty plates on her way. Evie smiled as Hannah passed the diner counter where she was supposed to be folding napkins. 3, 2, 1. Yes, she's out of sight. Go, Evie, go! She zipped around the back of the counter, grabbed the blueberry box, reached for the watermelon chunks, and dumped the lot into the blender. Now for the crunchy bit. She pulled open the refrigerator and found a bag of ice chips. Keeping her eye on the diner clock, 45 seconds gone. Quick, Evie! You mustn't let Hannah see you. Not until you've safely delivered the slushies to the customer. And here is the recipe. Evie Brown's Blueberry Blaster Slushie recipe. I do not have a blender, so I cannot make it, but I want to, because it sounds delicious. Okay, Evie hit the button on the blender and turned up the dial to max power. While it was whirling and crunching, she found 2 smoothie glasses and some slices of lime to decorate the drinks with, as well as 2 tiny parasols. Evie loved the little umbrellas. They looked like they've been left behind by forgotten fairies, she thought. Then, done, Evie said, flicking off the blender and pouring out the thick purple liquid. She added the decorations and then stood back to admire her work. Yeah, 2 super exciting taste bud tingling slushy sensations for teenagers at table 2. She placed the drinks on a tray, picked it up, and walked proudly around the counter to deliver them. Wow, she thought, checking the clock, finished with 20 seconds to spare. I really am Wonder Waitress, the only superhero who can balance a tray of blueberry blaster slushies on one hand without dropping a smash. Everyone in the cafe turned to stare as the glasses crashed onto the tiles. Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't have tried the one-handed tray trick. Evie shut her eyes and crossed her fingers and wished extra hard that when she opened them again, either she would have vanished or all the customers would have gone. She opened one eye. Nope, that didn't work. She bit her lip and tried to smile as everyone stared at her, mouths open like stunned goldfish. Evie, what on earth? Hannah came dashing out of the back of the kitchen and did a double take at the sight of the shattered glass and purple slushy now splattered across the floor. She looked at the customers, then Evie, then back at the customers again. "I am so sorry, folks," she said, smiling nervously. "I guess we're still learning the ropes here. No harm done." As soon as everyone turned away and the hubbub of chat picked up again, Hannah grabbed the brush and shovel and that she kept handy and got down on her hands and knees and cleaned up the mess. "You know you're not supposed to be lifting trays," Hannah said, "or making orders, and especially not today when we've got the best cafe contest judge coming any moment," she sighed. "Why don't you go out and play in the yard?" "By myself?" Evie felt her lip wobble. "Don't cry, Wonder Waitress," she told herself. "Superhero serving staff never cry." "But I love helping out in the diner," she said. Hannah looked up. "I know, and I'm so sorry about the mess, but making drinks and desserts is so fun. Did I tell you about the amazing new ice cream sundae I've invented? It's got popping candy and—" "Later, Evie," Hannah interrupted. "Tell me at dinner, okay? But in the meantime, if you really want to help, maybe you could go stock the strawberry sauce pots in the storeroom cupboard. I need to put a new stock order in today, and it'll be easier to count them if you pile them up." Evie blinked at her stepmom. Stacking sauce pots in the back of the storeroom alone? Her shoulders drooped, and she felt the tears welling up in her eyes. Again, "That's almost as bad as playing in the yard." "Okay," Evie mumbled, heading for the door to the kitchen. "No problem." Hannah was always doing this, dreaming up desperately dull jobs for Evie to do to keep her safely out of the diner, like drying dishes in the kitchen, or polishing the cutlery, or counting the bags of wooden spoons that they serve with the ice cream. For the record, they had 3,981 spoons last time Evie checked. But checking stock in the storeroom was the most boring work of all. "There's no one to talk to," Evie thought as she walked down the corridor, "and not even a window to see people passing by." But 5 minutes later, as Evie was stretching up on her tippy toes to add another bottle of her super tall tower of strawberry sauce bottles, she heard a shriek. "Huh?" She listened. Uh-oh. That sounds like, at least on the scale of super cranky customer meltdowns. The scale of super cranky customer meltdowns. 10. Spilling order all over customer. Full eruption. 9. Fly in the soup. 8. Dogs in the diner. 7. Receiving the wrong check. 6. Unavailable menu items. 5. Receiving the wrong order. 4. Order too cold. 3. Order too hot. 2. Don't like the music. 1. Slow service. Smoking volcano. She dropped the sauce bottle she was holding and was about to bound through the storeroom door to go sort it out when she paused. Would Hannah want me to help after my purple slushy disaster? She chewed on her lip for a moment or two and considered. Probably not, she sighed. But then there was another scream, even louder than the first one. On the other hand, this was definitely sounds like a job for a Wonder Waitress, and she dived for the door.